So we are live. Thank you to our first attendees who already managed to join our subject webinar for today. So you know that today's umbrella topic is studying sustainable agriculture and agribusiness in Germany. My name is 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘵, the co-host / co-moderator of our today's webinar. So, and yeah, as during subject webinars, I'm not alone. We have several guests, usually from German universities, who will present to you their unique study programs. So before I move to the guests part, let me quickly tell you a little details for those who are not that much familiar with the Zoom webinar setting. So just next to the chat button, you can see the Q&A button. So this Q&A button is the main communication line, if you wish, between us, between you and us. So it is already open. You can send us your questions using the Q&A button. We will take a look at the end of, so you will get answers either in the written form directly, depending on the type of the question, or also your questions will be answered live by our guests. Okay, so if for some reason you have not received the answer to your question, it means that we are keeping it for our live Q&A session, which will start in around 30 minutes. So to say, that's why try to stay tuned as long as possible, and then you will get the answer to your question. All right, also keep an eye on the chat because we will be sending some information in the chat as well. Let me make a short presentation from my side. So yes, today we have two guests from Hochschule Rheinval or Rheinval University of Applied Sciences. It's Professor Dr. Florian Wiedhern is right now, and you can see him right now. Also, he will introduce the program, a bachelor level program in sustainable agriculture. And then Professor Dr. Tobias Wünscher, who is supposed to join us a bit later, he will talk about a bachelor program in agribusiness. All right, so who is behind today's webinar? Let me also briefly tell you that we are my German university, and we are Germany's largest database when it comes to English taught study programs. So we have over 2,800 degree programs, which are taught at least mostly in English. So on bachelor level, also on master's level. And our mission, our goal is to help international students who would like to study in Germany. One of the key ways of doing so is through our study finder. When you go to our website, you click on Study Finder section, you will be able to see all of the options, all of the filters of our Study Finder. You can find your programs according to the mode of admission, according to location, according to the type of university, for example, according to the fees, according to your language level, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it can go so deep, and then it makes your life much easier in terms of finding the suitable program much easier. Then we also write various articles, of course, on different topics regarding studying in Germany. For example, we have more than 150 comprehensive articles right now on different topics. It can be, for example, if you need APS certificate, for example, if you're coming from India or China or Vietnam, we have article on that. You need blocked accounts. For example, we have article on that, Studienkolleg Konstanz application, rankings, international domestics, and so on and so forth. All of these topics are covered, and they are for free. That's why I invite you kindly to take a look whenever you have time. And we have also webinars, 150 webinars approximately per year on different topics. It can be, for example, general webinar on UniAssist, on scholarships, for example, on visa issues, or the subject webinars like the one that you're attending right now, on specific subjects, on different subjects. It can be, for example, studying agriculture in Germany, studying biology in Germany, studying electrical engineering in Germany, MBA, and so on and so forth. All of the webinars that are already planned, you can sign up for these webinars for free, and of course, also attend them for free. We are based in Hamburg, in northern Germany, but we have teams all over Germany and also around the world. That's why we are counseling also in different languages. So, yes, when you are searching for the programs in English, for example, then my German university and our study finder should definitely be your stop. So we have various programs related to the disciplines of sustainable agriculture and agribusiness, both on bachelor and master's level, and most of them are in English only. And English only means that in those cases, in most of the cases, you can get into the university or to the program without knowing any German, and in most cases successfully also complete the program without any knowledge of German, which is a very good opportunity for internationals who are not that good yet with a German language. Also, if you do not know what to expect, for example, when it comes to studying agriculture or agribusiness in Germany or sustainable agriculture, so we also have a specific subject page per each subject where you can find some general information. For example, what are the rankings of universities that are offering studies in these disciplines, or what are the tuition fee ranges that you should plan for example, or what are the requirements like application, admission, language requirements that you should be aware of, the general ones. So it's kind of helps you to create a bigger picture for yourself. Also, yeah, when you are searching for the right program and right university for you, don't forget to take into account more than one aspect, right? Don't be guided by sole aspect like only fees or only rankings or only city names. So that is also important, of course, but yes, solely picking up one or two aspects will not lead you towards the right way. You have to take into account all this together and much more. Take into account your professional aspirations, your background, your interests, and only then you'll be able to make the right choice of the program and the university. That is crucial. In Germany, also there are two key types of universities. One is called Universität type of university, which is in English just called university. And second one is called University of Applied Sciences, which in German has some variations like Hochschule, Fachhochschule. And the key difference between them is in focus. So in Universität type of universities, focus is usually on research and theory. And in general, when it comes to University of Applied Sciences, we are more talking about application and practice. Yeah, so when you are searching for the programs through our study finder, make sure to be flexible with wordings. And in addition to being flexible with wordings in our study finder and adding to that the aspect that we mentioned before while searching for the right program, by combining this all together, you will be able to increase drastically your chances of making an informed decision when choosing the program, which is, once again, I would like to stress that one of the most crucial way towards your successful career. All right, so that being said, let us now move closer to the Dutch border, and we are moving to Randwall University of Applied Sciences, and we will talk now about sustainable agriculture. It's a Bachelor of Science level program, and Professor Dr. Florian Wichern is with us, and he will introduce to you some details regarding this study program. I will stop the screen share here and hand it over to our guest.
Thank you very much, Georgie, for introducing my German university and also our university and myself. So welcome participants. I will also share my screen to give you insight into our study program, Sustainable Agriculture. I'm on behalf of my colleague Matthias Kleinke, as study coordinators, presenting you some of the ideas of this program. Sustainable agriculture covers a range of topics, as you can see on this slide with the different figures, where you can see it deals with animals, with plants, with soils, but also the agricultural engineering component of it, and eventually, of course, in the end, it's also about the human being. So it's a typical broad range topic you deal with when talking about agriculture. Now, why specifically focusing on sustainable agriculture? You know, maybe from your personal background and from the media, that we have quite some challenges at the moment, such as guaranteeing food security, but also food safety and quality is an issue in some countries. At the same time, we need to make sure that we protect our environment, that we guarantee that the services provided by nature, by biodiversity, are kept, especially under conditions where our global climate is changing and we have some local and regional consequences. And at the same time, it's also about fairness, about a fair share among farmers, among consumers and the processors. So we have a number of topics, challenges we need to deal with in agriculture, and that's why in our program we want to focus on a sustainable approach to it. And it looks very different. It can be highly mechanized, intensive agriculture, including plant production, animal husbandry, horticulture, and in our program we also consider these dimensions, including also the landscape level, because we know that farming is part of the landscape. Agriculture is part of the landscape in every country. But we not only focus on the high tech you may then see in Germany being prevalent, such as using smart devices or agricultural machineries, but we also always consider the local solutions in environments where the resources are limited, such as in some countries of the south or the east. So low-tech solutions are in the same way an option to improving sustainability of agriculture. So sustainability is the key term of our program, and we mean by sustainability with the classic concept of balancing the economics, the social dimension, and the environmental dimension of agriculture, so that all these need to be in balance. So a farmer needs to make sure that he can or she can make a good living, lives in a safe environment, and protects the environment from harm to guarantee also future profitability. And we do this in this program by providing students with tools to be able to analyze sustainability, so methods to really assess sustainability in agriculture, not just talking about concepts and thinking about what sustainability means, but there are tools out there, and we try to train our students to be able to critically evaluate sustainability in agriculture, starting from the primary production, but all the way through the supply chains towards the consumer. And that's illustrated also by this slide, where you see a classic supply chain in agriculture with the input from industries such as fertilizers, seeds, pesticides, etc. And in green, the primary production, agriculture, horticulture, including agroforestry, bioenergy production, etc. And then followed by processing, trade, eventually the consumer. All of this needs to be considered, but in this program, we of course focus a lot on the primary production. So it's a classic agricultural program, but we nevertheless, for the evaluation of sustainability, need to consider that there is an input industry, there is processing, there is trade involved, and all this is tackled in this study program, where we aim at not only evaluating this agricultural systems, but providing also ideas of where to improve and where to change agriculture towards becoming more sustainable. Our programs are 3.5-year programs, as we say, semesters, so 2 terms per year. Starting in October with the winter term is the first semester, which goes through all the way until the exams beginning of February the following year, and then there is usually a break, and then the second semester starts beginning of April until end of June, beginning of July, where then the next exams take place, and so on and so forth. The first 5 semesters, you will have compulsory modules, but also elective modules on basics, with a strong application focus indeed, as we're a University of Applied Sciences and agriculture is very applied. Then in the 6th semester, there is either an internship, which can be done in Germany or abroad. So we have students doing their internship just next to the university in a company, or going abroad to Chile or to Tanzania, for example. But there can also be a study abroad with in one of our partner universities. We just recently signed a cooperation agreement with a university in Jamaica, for example. So we're very internationally oriented, and this offers students a possibility to also spend the 6th semester abroad. And then after that, there is only 1 semester left, which is then the bachelor thesis, where some research should be done within 3 months. And this can often be combined also with the internship or the study abroad. So this is the basic outline of our programs, and in agriculture and sustainable agriculture, we follow the same route. Now, in terms of content, maybe some ideas without going too much into details. You find all this information, of course, on the website. Also, a description of the individual modules, so the individual courses you get. You find the module handbook also on our website with full details on the content, on the form of examination, etc. And as you can see by the colors on the left-hand side, it's a combination of basic natural sciences, plant sciences, animal sciences, all of which require some fundamental understanding of chemistry, of maths, of a bit of physics, and then, of course, diving into what does this mean for plant production, for animal husbandry, etc. This is an important component of agriculture. But in the end, for farmers, it's about earning money and living in a society. And that's why we indeed have compulsory courses in economics and in agricultural policies and rural development and international markets, etc. But farmers usually use technologies, and that's why we also have a component where my colleague provides you some insight into agricultural engineering, agricultural technology, including also biotechnology. But all this, of course, embedded in the idea that we want to evaluate farming systems regarding their sustainability. And this requires also what we call soft skills. So the ability to analyze, to work in a group, to also present work, and all this we try to support our students with in the different courses, but we also have specific courses where students should on purpose get used to and learn about these tools. So at the beginning, in the first semester, you will get an insight into learning tools, learning skills, including also the basics of scientific working. And then throughout the program, you will learn more about scientific working in different courses. And very specific to our program is also that we have a compulsory ethics course, so that also the ethical analysis of farming systems, which is quite prevalent, is done in this program explicitly by having a course on this. And then in red, you can see about 10–15% of all the credits you need to gain are elective modules where you can decide on which topic you want to stronger focus on. So you may come across soil science being interesting. That's my field of expertise. And then you have a possibility of also learning more about soil science, for example. We use a number of different approaches for studying, for learning. And of course, we have seminars, we have lectures, but we also have a lot of lab courses in this program. We have group work, we have projects where students work together and present their findings. We are having excursions because farming is also about getting in touch with agriculture, and that's something you can do by excursions. And indeed, also self-studies. So it's not a school, it's a university of applied sciences. So the big part comes from self-motivated self-studies, which allows you to thrive and to learn. We cooperate a lot with farmers and companies and organizations in the region so that there are possibilities for student projects, for internships, for excursions, for bachelor research, but also we have partners from these organizations, from companies giving presentations, giving lectures within the study program. And very prominent also in our study program, like in agribusiness, is that we offer an annual international excursion where we try to explore agriculture in different regions, including the overall food and environmental system. So last year we've been to Albania, and this year the excursion will be to Italy. And you can see here on the slide that we discovered also other countries in Europe and beyond Europe. There are, of course, and that's a question you may ask, or your family members, what are your career options? And with a study program, a degree in Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Agriculture, there are plenty of possibilities, starting from the input industry in the fertilizer industry where I worked before I became a professor, but also in the seed industry, for example, or the plant protection industry. There are always people recruited which have a good solid background, scientific knowledge about agriculture, but all along the supply chain in the areas trading these goods, processing these goods that are produced in agriculture. And of course, in consultancy, a lot of our alumni work as consultants to provide farmers some support in becoming more sustainable in their agricultural production. All this provides possibilities with the degree in sustainable agriculture. We have a very international university. We are a very international university with students from over 100 nations, and this is also reflected in our study program, Sustainable Agriculture, where we have students and alumni from a huge number of different countries, from basically all continents. So very international, which allows us also to have different perspectives to agriculture, which makes it also for us as teachers and scientists very interesting to work with you in the field of agriculture. And it's, of course, me as a study coordinator with my colleague Matthias Kleinke, but many, many more. As you can see, some friendly faces here with or without tractor or animals. So we have a core team of colleagues working very closely with you in this program, and a number of colleagues who are partly involved in individual courses so that we can allow for in-depth learning in agriculture, providing a solid basis of knowledge for this. That's my last slide here. As you may have discovered already, our website, there is some information on sustainable agriculture as well. And this allows me now to stop the presentation and hand back to Georgie.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Professor, for your presentation and for all the information. And let us stay in the same university, first of all, and let us now talk about agribusiness. And we have Professor Dr. Tobias Wünscher, and he will also talk about bachelor program, but now in agribusiness. So, Professor, please take the floor.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm glad to be here. Give me a second. I also have a little presentation, although a lot of it is similar to what we just heard from Professor Wünscher. So a lot of what we have seen already, I would also have presented. So you have heard about the necessity to convert agriculture into sustainable farming. And agribusiness, although there's no emphasis on sustainability, also has, we in this study, in this career, we also have a very strong focus on sustainable agriculture, on sustainable farming, and also on sustainable management and the sustainable running of businesses along the entire food chain. So what you can see here on this slide is that the study program, Sustainable Agriculture, focus mainly on agricultural production. So there is soil preparation and planting, nutrient and pest management, irrigation and drainage, harvesting. That's the main focus. Of course, as you have seen, there are also other inputs. There's sustainable agriculture students look also at economics. So some of the courses the AB, the agribusiness students see, the sustainable agriculture students also go and see the same courses. For example, rural development, principles of economics, etc. However, the focus of the agribusiness program is not on agricultural production. It's a focus on the entire food chain. So you can see here in this slide, maybe I can activate the pointer, that we are focusing also on the businesses before it comes to production, the production of agricultural and development of agricultural inputs, input distribution and extension, food processing, food retail and trade, and even the processing of food or the service industry, such as restaurants, etc. So there is a focus along the entire food chain, which also has an impact on the career opportunities. So we have seen the same slide just a minute ago. So in theory, sustainable agriculture students can work along the entire industry and along the entire food chain, starting with inputs and all along the food chain to food processing and food service providers. The focus of the agribusiness students is a slightly different one. So they also work along the entire food chain. However, with a stronger focus on the business questions, on the business issues. Let me see whether there's anything else that I wanted to add. The program is organized in the same way as you have just seen. The compulsory modules, the elective modules. There is this internship I've seen in the questions and answers list, whether you need to do the internship in the given semester. Well, you need to do the internship, just to answer this. You need to do the internship. It's a whole entire semester. Whether you manage to do it in the 6th semester is up to how quickly you progress with your study program. So in order to do an internship, you need to have a certain amount of modules or courses taken. So you need a certain amount of credit points to be granted or to be allowed to do the internship. And how long it takes you to get those credits is up to you. So the ideal way would be to do it in the 6th semester, but it may get delayed if your study progress is slow. Again, well, there's another internship opportunity. And here, this is a very similar slide that we have seen also earlier about the different courses, the structure of the courses that you would be taking. As you can see, economics, there's a higher emphasis on economical subjects. This percentage is actually even higher because in social sciences here, international markets, trade, and agriculture policy, that is actually an economics module. So there is a stronger emphasis on economics. However, as agribusiness students, you're also supposed to understand the business itself, the way the business are run. So you also have what we summarize here as technology modules. You look at basics of agriculture production systems, basics of horticulture, quality management of food and flowers, etc. So there's some of these kind of courses. And then you also have these modules that we've seen on soft skills, general topics such as ethics, mathematics, etc. So just the structure is slightly different. Again, we also try to give you a very broad and active learning experience. So lectures are, of course, a main part of the program. However, we try to get you involved in group work, in labs, in role plays. I think the agriculture courses at the Rhine-Waal University offer a lot of excursions. So you get the opportunity to get out to the field a lot. As my colleague just mentioned, there's an international excursion every year, but there are trips offered almost every other week, I would almost say. There are a lot of field trips that we organize and that give you an opportunity to get out to the field, talk to farmers. There was another question in the question and answer list, in the question and answer section, about whether you would get involved with the rural community in the area. Yes, I would say you do, because a lot of these excursions take you to those farmers. You are free to do internships in your lecture-free time with those farmers. Some of the projects that we do are in collaboration with the farming community in the area, and there are some opportunities also for students to take student assistant jobs and work in such projects. So there are, I would say, plenty of opportunities to go out and get to know the rural communities in the area. So maybe that's all I want to add to what Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵 already explained. We work very much in line, sustainable agriculture and agribusiness. Some of the professors of sustainable agriculture, they give the technology courses in agribusiness. I also give courses for sustainable agriculture students, economics courses. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm an agricultural economist. So the economics courses, some of the economics courses I also give in sustainable agriculture. And many of the things we do also together, such as these field trips. Normally, if it's possible, students from one course are also invited to join a trip from the other course. Okay, and maybe just a word on us. You would find a very, I would say, very pleasant team of professors and lecturers at the Rhine-Waal University. We are all very motivated, very engaged. We love what we do. And the relationship students to professors is relatively positive. There are the number of students in sustainable agriculture and agribusiness is about 30 to 40 students per year in each course. So usually it's possible to develop very personal, well, not personal, but very good relationships with us. I think we're all very accessible in case there are problems or questions or further discussions that you like to have. It gives us plenty of time also for questions.
Exactly. Great. Thank you very much, Professor, for all the additions. I think, yeah, now students have a full picture of what to expect from both programs and from the university in general. And let us now jump into the questions. That's a very good time for that. So let me start with this one. Yeah, actually, Professor already addressed this in his presentation regarding whether internship should be done. And I think it's right for both programs, right? It's not only for agribusiness, but for sustainable agriculture. It's the same answer? Or...
Yeah, it's the same for both programs. The internship in the 6th semester is compulsory. And the idea is that students really can apply the knowledge they gain during the first 2.5 years in a work context, or prepare themselves for further master studies by doing studies abroad. And of course, this also always allows to learn about different cultures, etc. So that's why we recommend to finish the background courses first before really doing the 6th semester internship. And often students then find a job offer in this internship. If they do it in a company in the region or beyond the region, then often they get job offers. Yeah? So that's a very good opportunity as compared to some pure academic programs. I think this is a big benefit of our University of Applied Sciences as well. Yeah, so that's related to the internship in the 6th semester.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And let me stay with this topic. We have just received another question in this regards, and then both of you could answer, or whoever feels more comfortable with. The content of internship, shall it be approved by the faculty? So do students have to agree with you, okay, I want to do in this company, on this project? Is it fine or not fine? So how does it work?
Yes, that's exactly how it works. The internship is supposed to be related to the study program, and there also needs to be a contract, and the student should be present in the company. So, you know, there have been the situation where students want to do their internship online, working remote. That of course was something that may have been necessary during the pandemic. But however, we want students to be in the companies, on the farm, etc. And the internship has to be approved by the faculty. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Thanks. Yes, please. You wanted to add something, Professor Wiedjen?
I just wanted to add that we indeed have a network of companies in the region, but we expect students to be self-organized and look for something that really suits their requirements and their ideas of the studies. And then after that, come to a professor and ask if he or she will be the supervisor during this internship. But it's a formal process to get the credit points. But the first step should be with the students to think about what they want to do. But of course, we always support with the contacts we have, the networks we have.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you. So it's not exactly about internship, but again, within this sphere. So I would like to finalize with these topics. And there's one more question in this regard. So Professor Wiedjen, you mentioned, I think, regarding the student assistant jobs. And the question was, student assistant jobs, do many students get this opportunity? I mean, is it a usual thing to do for your students? Again, question for both. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, there are plenty of opportunities to work as a student assistant. We usually have the possibility as professors to have student assistants for the modules. So we can employ students from higher semesters to support us in the modules or courses in the lower semesters. So there are opportunities in this regard. And then we also have projects, research projects or development projects. And usually in these research and development projects, there are also positions for student assistants. Now, in terms of ratio, how many of the students actually have the opportunity? I'm not sure. Do you have an idea, Florian?
It's not that every student can get a student assistant job. That's not the possibility. So I know many students try to find other jobs, like at the local restaurant or nearby companies, industries where they can work. But often good students, students which are very engaged in the university life and in the teaching, etc., they have a good chance of being involved in research projects as student assistants or being involved in the teaching, as Professor Wiedjen explained. So, but I don't have a ratio or a rate.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for these answers. And just a general also answer, dear students, if you are even coming from non-EU countries and you get this visa to study in Germany, you will have an opportunity to work as a student assistant or also in restaurants. It was mentioned to make some money, you know, for living. So you are officially allowed to do that. You should not worry about that. And now conditions are even better since 1st of March. So yeah, in this regard, don't worry. But of course, be a nice student, and then student assistant jobs, of course, are better because then you also have collect experience in line with what you are studying, of course. But I'm sure you will be able to do that. All right, great. Next question is, do students have to do any aptitude test with you to be selected? And then there's a general question. Let me combine these two questions. How can I get admission in the university? Maybe briefly to go through what do they have to provide you with, really briefly, and how the procedure works in general. Because there was also one question, and let me combine this also. Do students have to send you physical documents, or is it fully online, the procedure? So now the floor is yours.
Would you like to start, Florian?
Yeah, I can start, and you can then add to that. As teachers, we're not involved in the formal procedures. This is an automated process through UniAssist for international students, where the documents are handed in electronically and then checked accordingly if the high school degree that is achieved, the high school level, fulfills the requirements to be allowed to admit to our university. So there is no specific selection for the individual study program, and there is no limitation to this study program. So for other programs in Germany, sometimes you have a limitation of available study positions, so to say, or you need to have a certain average mark at your high school. This all does not apply to these two study programs. So everyone who is admittable regarding the high school degrees can start this study program.
Okay.
Maybe just to add, because there was this question about the test, there's no admission test.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And dear attendees, UniAssist was mentioned. This is a specific intermediary, so to say. And if you want to find out more information regarding that, we have several articles on that. And I put also in the chat the links to our articles. You can familiarize yourself. What does it mean to apply via UniAssist that professors mentioned? All right, great. Then the next question. Can electives be taken from other departments?
Yes, there is a certain number of electives which can be chosen from any other program at the university. We do not allow students to take courses for the electives from other universities because there's the possibility to study abroad during the 6th semester instead of doing the internship. But within our university, students are free to choose also electives from other departments, even from other faculties, from other study programs. But usually we recommend to talk to the study coordinators beforehand to think about if it makes sense and if they have the right requirements to do so. Yeah. But there is a big diversity of options available at our university, as we have a large number of different programs and offer that allows students also to choose certain topics, including also language courses.
Okay, perfect. Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘕, would you like to add something, or we can?
No, I think
okay.
that is complete.
Perfect. All right. I have a bachelor's degree in biology. If I apply, will you consider that instead of my high school diploma? Thanks.
That strongly depends on the origin of the person, origin in terms of school origins, because Germany differentiates between different countries regarding the admission after high school. Nevertheless, if someone has done studies at a university elsewhere and did courses which likely are where likely the same content was taught as compared to some of the courses we offer, some of the modules, then students can always apply to get the courses they passed at the other university to be granted for also at our university. So for example, if someone studied a year or two agriculture somewhere and had a course in soil science, then he or she can apply that this will be granted, and then she or he has not to do the exam at our university anymore, if we accept it, if it's really the same content, etc. So that's what students commonly do. If they studied something somewhere else, then they also try to first of all talk to us, the study coordinator, so that we get an idea if it really fits and if it's helpful, and then they can apply to get this also granted.
Maybe to add here, often the courses at other universities have 3 credit points only, and our modules have 5 credit points. So that in this process of acknowledgement is sometimes an impediment, because even though it's a statistics course, we sometimes cannot grant or acknowledge it because it only covers 3 credit points, so it doesn't have the same coverage, the same volume of content as our 5 credit point statistics course, for example.
Okay, perfect.
So but it's possible sometimes to put the courses together. So you ask, maybe there was a statistics 1 and statistics 2 course, each of 3 credit points, and then we can acknowledge this in order to replace our 5 credit point statistics course.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Junaid, just to answer your question. So I put both links in the chat. You can check out. So how you can send the documents, you cannot send them by email. There's a UniAssist procedure and you have to send your documents via UniAssist, those documents which are necessary. And you find the link of the documents on the websites of the programs, which I also sent, and on UniAssist as well. So follow that. And what you mentioned, yeah, for example, with that background, you might need to do Studienkolleg just to get ready to get your high school diploma in line with the German high school diploma, and then you'll be able to apply. So maybe, yeah, your bachelor in this case will not be taken into account, but your high school will be, and then you might need to do a prep course. Studienkolleg is a prep course, and so that your high school diploma is like made equivalent to the German level. You can find more information regarding Studienkolleg as well on our website and our articles. And the fact that you have work experience, this is a very good addition, but maybe for the application, it might not matter at this point of the time. But again, you can apply. Just follow the procedure. All right, next question. Hello, thank you. Do you expect high level of preparation in biology and chemistry? And if yes, do you have any self-tests for that?
Yeah, we of course expect preparation for every course, and we know that for many students starting an agriculture program, chemistry, as at high school this has been taught maybe or maybe not, is sometimes challenging. That's why we offer some preparation courses, which are very short, just to allow students to get an idea about which level they are at. But especially for chemistry and also in biology, we have additional supporting courses where students are hired as tutors and support students in learning. So next to the lecture, we have lab courses and we have these additional learning exercises. So really to support students. But we of course expect students to use the opportunity of studying to really learn about it. But we don't expect students to be, let's say, chemists or biologists before they start. But that's something they, of course, start learning then when they start the study program.
Yeah.
But people should be aware of that, the fact that in sustainable agriculture, there are courses in chemistry and biology. So it's a natural science course. And that's where we expect students to be aware of that and prepare themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So another question is, hi, I'm Frimpong Bezalel. I'm currently studying agricultural biotechnology in Ghana. What are the processes I will go through to transfer my credits to your university due to the higher practical experience you offer, and how do you prepare students to face the reality? Okay. Regarding this transferring the credits, I think it was just mentioned also before that you should get in touch, and then they will help you, the coordinators, to find out which fits, which does not fit, and then help you out with that. And then you will also apply via UniAssist, taking into account all these directions. So this is a basic general answer from what I could get from previous answers, but of course, professors, please feel free to add to that.
Yeah, in the same way. So first of all, you need, of course, to apply through UniAssist to be enrolled in the study program. And then the second step will be to get the courses you passed in Ghana accepted as courses in our study program. As we have a lot of collaboration with Ghana, Ho University, for example, but also others. I think we have, especially me and the other study coordinator, a good idea also about what's going on in Ghana. So again, it would require to sit together to have a look at the courses and then discuss which ones can be granted and which ones not. And then there is a formal process internally. Yeah, so this is how it would work.
Okay.
And the second part, the higher practical experience we offer to
How
face
do you
reality.
prepare students to face the reality?
Yeah, that's a good question. Reality is so diverse. Excursions are an option, but also the fact that our teachers, our lecturers are all having a practical background. So as I said, before becoming a professor, was working in industry. Some colleagues have worked in international research centers, etc., taught internationally. We have a huge diversity of background so that we can provide students also with diversity of this and not the pure academic perspective. Plus having excursions, day excursions or for a few hours, or having also the week excursions, and also inviting lecturers from companies, from consultancies, to bring in their perspectives is where we try to provide students really the different perspectives.
Okay. Perfect. Professor Owensche, would you like to add something to that?
No, I think that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And let us tackle this question too. Good evening. What is the amount of modules per semester? And can students arrange them in terms of quantity to start with fewer and then take more in higher semesters? Again, both of you are welcome to address this question based on your programs.
Okay, so in general, students are free to attend the courses they want to attend. However, in higher semester, so if they want to start with fewer courses in the beginning, that is up to the students. There are some courses, however, that are obligatory in order to continue later on. We are going to change this in the future, but for the time being, this is how things work. So there are certain courses they can't take at the moment without having done another course. So that may counteract this freedom of choice. Another area of conflict is that if you want to take more courses later on, they may overlap with other courses. So you can't attend the two courses. If you want to take one from the second semester and one from the fourth semester, they may overlap. So you may not be able to attend both of them.
Yeah.
So the best way to study is, as we have outlined it. However, yes, it's rarely the case that students are able to or to do this because they also need to have a job, etc.
Yeah.
And it's possible. Yes, it is possible to organize, or it is possible to choose courses in different semesters.
Yeah, maybe I can also add to that. So it's about 6 courses, 6 modules per semester on average. And in sustainable agriculture, we have a number of lab courses affiliated in these modules in chemistry and biology and soil science, etc. And it's recommended to follow the lectures, seminars, and also do these lab courses as outlined. In case this is simply too much work, because some international students especially, they have to find a job, they work besides, and then they have to acclimatize to our cultural conditions, to our climatic conditions, which we fully agree on and try to support with. Then nevertheless, the exams can be taken at any time later. So taking the lectures, the lab courses, and then taking the exam a bit later is what students often choose. But again, as we're a University of Applied Sciences with relatively small course sizes, so as Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵 mentioned, maybe 40 students in the first semester, there's always a possibility to talk to each other also during the breaks or having an appointment. We have regular meetings with our students, like once in a semester, where we invite all students to sit together and exchange about experience with the study program. This is a possibility then also to discuss these things more individually. Yeah, that's a big benefit of our university, I would say. It's not like a school, but still we're small, and this allows us to be in a continuous exchange also.
Perfect. That's always very much appreciated. Thank you very much, professors, for your answers. Saying that, let me open my official thank you. Thank you slide. So thank you, first of all, our guests for wonderful presentations and for answering all of the questions really comprehensively. That's always very much appreciated. Thanks, attendees, for your interests in the programs. Hopefully you'll manage to get into them. And yeah, don't shy away to ask the questions also directly to the representatives of the programs. You could see that they're really helpful and are ready to answer your questions. If you have any general questions, like sometimes it was mentioned like uni-assist or any visa questions or 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵 questions, like general on the general level questions, you can also get in touch with us. Read our articles because they will already tackle these issues or these topics, and then you'll find answers to the questions also there. But of course, if there are any still more open questions, you can get in touch with us as well. That being said, thank you very much once again for tuning in, and good luck with your applications. And thank you, professors, and hopefully we meet each other on our future webinars. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵, you are saying something, but you are muted. I cannot hear you.
Yes, if I'm just sending here a message with my email. If
Okay.
anyone has another question,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether everyone is able to see this.
Now, just a second. Now everyone will see it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
if you have any other questions concerning agribusiness, you're welcome to drop me a line, to write an email,
mm-hmm.
and I'm happy to answer.
Great. So, dear students, I'm giving you 10 more seconds. Take the picture of the email, and then get in touch whenever there are more questions. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much once again, everyone, and have a nice rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.